Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we're taking a look back at fall decor here in my home over the years, last year and possibly some years before. So grab yourself a cozy drink. We're gonna go ahead and just enjoy a long video of lots of fall decor inspiration. I am not yet ready to decorate for 2025, but it is around the corner. Hopefully this helps give you some inspiration until the new videos come out. And thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoy and I will see you in the next one. Before we go any further in today's video, I want to go ahead and thank our sponsor, Spanx. I know when I hear the word Spanx, I think of the incredible shapewear we have all come to know and love. But did you guys know that they sell jeans? They do, and I am so here for it. Spanx products are designed with both comfort and style in mind to help women feel their absolute best. They have elevated essentials that are ultra flattering, comfortable, and very versatile. And no matter what your day consists of, errands, school drop off, resetting your entire house for the next week, these styles keep me feeling amazing and looking fantastic anywhere I go. The first pair that I want to share with you are the Spanx Sculpt Everywhere wide leg jeans. These are in white. I'm wearing the large petite. These offer medium compression for a shaping effect and are crafted with premium 4-way stretch denim. They're booty lifting, leg lengthening, which I definitely need, and curve hugging in the best way. And they're designed with the Spanx Shape Zero waistband with no zippers, buttons, or hip pockets, so there's no extra bulk. Are these not so flattering? They're giving yacht style for sure. Next, I'm wearing the Spanx Sculpt Redefined Slim Straight Jeans in Indigo. The Spanx Sculpt line provides strong compression for a sculpting effect. These are so cool, you guys. They have targeted, integrated sculpting zones that provide tummy control, thigh shaping, and booty lifting. These things are magic. They're compressive from the waist to the thigh. They elongate my legs. They show off my curvy figure in the best way. I love them and they're going to be a staple in my fall and winter wardrobe for sure. Finally, I'm sharing the Spanx Shape Everywhere cropped wide leg jean. Again, I'm in large petite and wearing the color Stone Washed Blue. They do come in 3 other colors. These are very similar to the wide leg jeans I showed you in white, but these are cropped with a 24.5-inch inseam, ideal for people 5'4" or shorter. As I already mentioned, I'm 5'2¼ and they fit me perfectly. These high-rise jeans have Spanx's Tummy Tamer tech with built-in compression from the tummy through the hip, hugging my curves in all the right areas. I absolutely love these jeans and want to wear them every single day. You can grab these incredible jeans and many others for yourself at the link down in my description box and use my code CGFXSpanx for 15% off and free shipping on your first order. Again, that code is CGFXSpanx and I'll have the link for you down below. That's 15% off and free shipping on your first order. And thank you again to Spanx for sponsoring today's video. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are doing part 3 of my 2024 fall decorating videos. Today we are decorating my coffee bar. I love to decorate my coffee bar and make it feel super festive for whatever the season is or the holiday, and there is nothing better than a fall coffee bar. I love it so much. It's my favorite out of the entire year. So my coffee bar lives right here. It's right behind this little wall and it just is right outside of my bedroom door every single morning when we wake up. It's dark outside, we come out, we turn on the light, it's very dim, and we've got the 2 gooseneck lamps, and it's just so cozy when we make our coffee. It's wonderful. And so the plan is for this to just feel like a warm fall hug when we open up that door where our eyes are still sleepy, we're making our coffee in the dimmest of lights, and I just want it to feel so warm and cozy. So I'm so glad you guys are here. We're gonna finish off today's video with 2 fall coffee recipes, so make sure you stay all the way through to the end. And if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2 of my 2024 fall decorating, make sure you check those out as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started today, here is a quick look at how the coffee bar stands right now. I love this space, and I think it is such a fun and beautiful way to bring in different seasonal items for the different holidays. Here's a look at all the things we're going to be using today to decorate the coffee bar. Some are old, some are new. I'll try to share what I can, but where I got it, and I'll link anything I can for you down in the description box. I'm starting by hanging this super cute coffee themed banner that I picked up from Michael's a couple of years ago. I love a good felt banner, and there's nothing better than a sweet little one with coffee and pies for the coffee bar. Starting on this shelf to the right, I'm starting with an apple cider side that I picked up at Target a few years ago. I do have a crock there with some wooden utensils. I'm also going to bring in this fall market galvanized tin that I picked up last year at Michael's, and a sweet little cloche with a little crocheted pumpkin I picked up in Salem last year. I'm also bringing in a little pumpkin creamer pitcher from Hobby Lobby, and I'm putting in these sweet little pumpkin wooden stir spoons also from Hobby Lobby. I'm finishing off this shelf with a little blue and white striped napkin from the Hearth and Hand line at Target, and I love how this side turned out. Moving to the left side here, I'm starting again with another crock. This one is an antique crock from Scranton's, and I used another one of those blue and white striped napkins, and I'm using some of the fall eucalyptus stems that I picked up on Amazon. To give us a little height on the shelf, I'm bringing in this antique book that I picked up at Scranton's, and on top of it, I am going to place another one of those little galvanized scoops, again from Scranton's. I love these. I have one in my dining room as well, and I'm going to place a sweet little pumpkin inside. I'm also bringing in that little Harvest Market sign from Hobby Lobby, as well as this galvanized pitcher and more of those sweet little pumpkin picks also from Hobby Lobby. To the top of my air fryer, I am bringing in a little white pitcher here. I believe that is from Target, with some eucalyptus from Michael's, and that little pumpkin sign is from Hobby Lobby. Moving over to where we keep our coffee pots, I am
leaving this tall pitcher from Target. This is from the Hearth and Hand line last year. And I'm mixing a little bit of green eucalyptus with the fall eucalyptus stems. I like to bring in a little bit of that green because I do still have green in my backyard from the grass. And when the leaves do turn, the grass stays green, which is really nice. So I try to tie in both colors for a little bit of realistic touch. I'm replacing my spoon rest with this sweet little pumpkin one from Hobby Lobby, as well as this little thankful sign on the windowsill, also from Hobby Lobby. And to finish off this area, we're going to bring in some copper mule mugs to bring in that beautiful copper color for the season. Now that we're done decorating the coffee bar, let's take a look at how it turned out before we make ourselves a delicious cup of coffee. My favorite drink at Starbucks is the brown sugar shaken espresso, and so we're going to go ahead and make a pumpkin spice version. And we're going to start by making our sauce for our coffee. So you're going to start with a saucepan, a small saucepan, and you're going to add half a cup of warm water, as well as a fourth of a cup packed light brown sugar. You're going to add a cinnamon stick if you like that. I am not a big cinnamon fan, so I left the cinnamon sticks out, but I did add 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice and gave that a stir. You're going to go ahead and let that come to a simmer on your stove top and let it simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes. It will thicken up as it simmers, and then we'll add our final ingredient of a little bit of vanilla, and this is going to be the base of our pumpkin spice brown sugar shaken espresso. Once your sauce has been simmering for a little bit, go ahead and take your top off and give it a nice little whisk to make sure that all of your pumpkin spice seasoning is combined. And you'll see that your sauce is starting to thicken up just a little bit. You're going to add the last final ingredient, which is a little bit of vanilla. I used about a teaspoon. Go ahead and use what works for you. And like I said, you could add the cinnamon stick, but I am not a big cinnamon fan, so I left that part out. But here's a look at how your sauce should look at the end. Make sure that you turn the heat off before adding your vanilla so you don't light your sauce on fire, of course. Now that our sauce is done and cooling, we're going to brew our espresso. I'm using the Starbucks espresso pods and my Nespresso machine. I absolutely love my Nespresso machine. This was a Christmas gift from my husband, and I use it every single day. I am going to make a double shot today, so I'm using 2 capsules. Again, the Starbucks espresso capsules for the Nespresso machine, but you can use whatever espresso machine you have, and you're going to want to make a double shot for today's recipe. The key to a delicious shaken espresso is, of course, the shaken espresso. So you're going to start with some kind of container that you can put a lid on. Add in however much sauce you'd like for your coffee. Depends on if you like it a little sweeter or a little less sweet. Add in your hot espresso and about a half a cup of ice or so. Put the lid on nice and tight and give your espresso a really good shake. This is going to make it nice and foamy and delicious, and it's going to fully combine your sauce and your espresso. Grab a cup of your choice. I'm using a really large glass cup that I get on Amazon. I'll link it for you down below because I like a lot of ice with my coffee. I want there to be ice when I'm done drinking it. So filling this to the brim, I'm adding in my shaken espresso. It's looking awfully foamy and perfect. And then we're going to top it off with some extra creamy oat milk. Of course, you can use whatever milk works for you. The Starbucks recipe calls for oat milk, and I love that nutty flavor. I'm adding my lid and a straw, and our pumpkin spice brown sugar shaken espresso is ready to go. For our next coffee recipe, we are going to make a pumpkin cream cold foam cold brew coffee, and this is delicious. For today, I'm using my Nespresso cold foam maker, but you could do this in a blender. I actually made this again the next day, and I did it in my blender, and it gave me a nicer foam, which was perfect. For this recipe, I am starting with a half a cup of heavy cream, a fourth of a cup of sweetened condensed milk, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, about a tablespoon and a half of pumpkin puree, and about a teaspoon or so of pumpkin pie spice, but you can add more if you prefer. Like I said, I'm putting this in my Nespresso cold foam maker, but you could do this in a blender and blend this together. It'll give you a beautiful cold foam. And you can put it in your fridge for a couple of days and use it for a few days, but I just made enough for today's recipe. While our cold foam is processing and getting delicious and foamy, I'm adding a bunch of ice to my coffee mug. I'm also going to add about a tablespoon or two of our delicious brown sugar pumpkin spice sauce that we just made. I'm going to use an unsweetened cold brew coffee that I pick up just at the grocery store, ready to go. Give that a stir. You can, of course, make your own cold brew if you want, but I'm keeping it simple today and every other day. And once our cold foam is ready, just go ahead and add that right on top, spread it around, and this is absolutely delicious. You could top it off with a little bit of cinnamon or nutmeg, and your coffee is ready to go.
Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are doing part 2 of my fall decorating for 2024. Today we're going to be decorating my family room, my entryway, and a little bit in my powder room. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure you check that out. I'll have it linked for you down below. And let's get right into decorating. Thanks for being here. Just like in the last video, I just want to give you a little peek at all the things I took out for today's Decorate With Me. I've got a lot of stems as well as some garland. This garland is from Antique Farmhouse online. You guys know I talk about them all the time. I love, love, love their store. And I just think this is absolutely beautiful. I've got some pillows, lots of stems. I've also got some newer items over here. I did just pick these up at Target. This little blanket, these sweet little jack-o'-lanterns. They're like a Sherpa jack-o'-lantern. I picked these up literally, I don't know, half an hour ago. They were $3 in the Target dollar spot. And also this little sponge holder. I found this over by where they have their bathroom decor. I thought that was really sweet. And over on this side, I've got those books that I showed in my like fall planning video. I just recently started reading this one, The Cider Shop Rules. Super excited about that. I've got some vases that we can use for stems, and then over here I just have a few little fall sayings and some garland. I bought this adorable pie garland last year from Michael's. I never ended up using it, but I think it's so sweet, and I'm going to use it this year because I told you this year's goal is to have all of the Hallmark vibes, and so that is what we're going for. I've got some pumpkins there, as well as another one of those bushel baskets from Michael's. Inside I have a whole bunch of little pumpkins and those glass acorns. And I will say I went by Michael's today to look for some more pumpkins, and there was one aisle of fall decor. Everything else was Halloween, and there was even some Christmas. So if you are on the hunt for new fall items, I would highly recommend that you go look as soon as you possibly can, because it seems like they're already getting rid of them and the leaves are just starting to turn where I live. I know a lot of you, it's still 100 degrees where you live, and it feels kind of ridiculous to have to shop for those things now, but it seems like they're going fast. So I will link anything that I possibly can for you down below to make it nice and easy to shop, but I would also encourage you to go check out your local stores. In regards to the pumpkins that I was able to pick up, I grabbed these crafting pumpkins from Michael's. I got a large, a medium, and 2 small. These were 50% off plus my additional 15% off for being an educator. And they're like a, I don't know, maybe like a foam in there. I honestly don't know, but they showed pictures of like cutting the top off and just using this as like a vase. I don't know. But I think they look very real, minus the stems. I think that they look very real, which is, you know, the goal we're going for today. And I'm hoping to just kind of stack these up somewhere. The only thing I didn't get was the hay bales. I really considered it, but I decided not to bring them inside. I didn't know how the cats would respond, like this little troublemaker.
Here's a quick peek of how we're getting started. I had removed all of the blue and all of the pieces of the cottage coastal for this summer and got us ready to decorate for the fall. We're going to start off here on the peg rail, and we're going to take down the decor. I'm going to use a lot of things that I had up here, and we're going to intermix some fall decor as well. So I'm just going to take these down, and we're going to start with decorating in this area. I love this peg rail so much. This is a project that Danny and I did a couple of years ago. When we first moved in, we had this big wall, and I had no idea what we were going to do with it. And we also needed to solve the problem of where were we going to hang our stockings at Christmas. And that's where this lovely idea came from. I started by hanging the garland across the beautiful frames at the top, and I brought in this sweet little autumn harvest sign. And at first I thought this was perfect, but I really wanted to use this gather sign that I have had from Michael's. I picked this up, I think, 2 years ago, and I just love the color that it brings. I'm also stealing this galvanized pitcher from the bathroom, and this is from Walmart. We're starting off with a base of the seeded eucalyptus, of course, from Amazon. And I'm now bringing in some of these beautiful leaf stems. Those, I believe, are from Target last year. I think those are from the Hearth and Hand line. Again, more of that beautiful orange eucalyptus. Going to bring in another one of these beautiful flowers from Michael's, and I'm going to top it off with a fun little pumpkin on a stick, and I think this looks really beautiful, and again just mimics what I have on the dining room table. I also have this little riser from Hobby Lobby, and we're going to bring in one of those sweet little jack-o'-lanterns that I just picked up at Target because I think they're so cute, and I love to just bring in touches of Halloween like that for now. We'll go all the way out in October, but this is so cute for now. I also have this great little picture frame from Hobby Lobby. No, I think that's from TJ Maxx. And that's a picture we took here at our property when we first moved here, right after we purchased it before anything was built. Moving to the other side, I'm going to keep this really pretty rattan vase, and I'm starting off with these pumpkin stems. These are from Michael's, and I think these are really pretty. There's actually a pumpkin plant that looks like that, if you would believe it. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's called a pumpkin plant. I'm also going to bring in some of the decor I had up here before, like these antique books, as well as this really pretty window frame and this little wooden spindle. I love a little wooden spindle. That's from Browns and Hopkins, my favorite little market. I also have that antique picture there. And again, I'm bringing in another one of those little Sherpa jack-o'-lanterns. And we're going to bring in a taper candle as well. These do have real tapers in them. I do think I want to get some automatic tapers so that I can actually turn them on. I did decide to take down the garland, and I love the way that it looks, but I just felt like the picture frame was missing that beautiful wreath that I had here before. So I just took the garland and wound it upon itself, and it worked out perfectly. And then I was able to hang it up and make a really pretty wreath. I was running really low on fall stems, believe it or not. I had used so many already. And so I grabbed some leaf garland that I had, and I just kind of piled it into the basket here. The basket's from Hobby Lobby. The garland is from Michael's. And I also have that sweet little pumpkin that I tucked in there. I believe those little Sherpa pumpkins are from the Target dollar spot, either last year or the year before. And I love that rust color. Again, we're going for a ton of orange this year, and I love how it looks. I'm layering this blanket from Home Goods here on my blanket ladder, which is from Hobby Lobby, and I think that that just adds such a warm and cozy touch, as well as an additional blanket to grab for movie nights. I have this pillow here. This is actually the only one I had, and I just realized I should probably get a couple more for my sofa. I don't have fall pillows, but that one's actually a Halloween. It has a ghost on the other side. I'm also going to tuck in all of my blankets here in this basket next to my sideboard, and we're going to bring in a little pumpkin pillow as well, which I believe is from Walmart. We're going to move over to my antique sideboard here under the TV. I'm going to get this wiped off, and then we'll get this decorated as well. I recently mentioned that I was able to finally get my hands on a minka pot of my own, and it's been living here on my sideboard in the family room so that I can see it from everywhere. However, for fall, I wanted to bring in something a little warmer and cozier, so we're going to use another one of those bushel baskets. When I was at Michael's yesterday, I was hoping to grab a couple more of these since I only picked up 2 initially, and they are all gone. They did not have them in my store. So I'm going to have to look online, and hopefully I can grab a couple more of those. If not, I'm going to check Scranton's, my favorite antique shop, to see if they have something similar. But I wanted something to warm up this plant here in the front. This is a heart philodendron. I love this plant so much. It was the very first plant I bought when I moved out here. And I just layered it on top of a piece of Tupperware to give it some height. And I love how it just spills over. It's just so pretty. I know the leggy plants aren't everyone's favorite, but they're definitely mine. Moving over to the little shelf, I did take the plant out of this pretty concrete planter, and I put some paper towels inside, and I layered a couple of little pumpkins on top. And then I'm adding in some of that really pretty deep purple eucalyptus. This is from Hobby Lobby. You find this in the floral section, but it's actually dried. It's very, very pretty. Down below, I'm bringing in one of the super large crocks. This is actually the biggest one I have. This was on my front porch, and we're going to layer in a pumpkin. I showed you an inspiration picture of this from Pinterest, and although I wasn't able to find a really pretty heirloom pumpkin, which is what I want, I think once the pumpkins are out at the grocery store, I will find one and be able to put it over here. But for now, we're going to use this super realistic looking pumpkin that I picked up at Michael's, and I still think it looks absolutely beautiful. Moving over to the sofa table, I have this really pretty antique bucket that I, again, picked up at Scranton's. Always just assume that my antiques are from Scranton's unless I say otherwise. But Scranton Shops is my favorite antique shop. They're located in Woodstock, Connecticut. And if you ever stop in, make sure you say hello. Make sure you say you came from Charlotte Grove Farmhouse, and that Tiffany says hello, and she loves to hear when people say they come from the channel. I'm stuffing in a cute little pumpkin that I picked up at Target last year, and now we're going to bring in that really pretty galvanized strainer that I also picked up at Scranton's. I showed you an inspiration picture for this as well, to have some little pumpkins, but again, I have not been able to find any real pumpkins at the store, so we're going to start off with those glass acorns that are from Walmart. I got those last Christmas. They're technically ornaments, but I just cut off the little strings. And then we're going to layer in some faux pumpkins, some white ones, a couple of orange ones. I wish I had more of the orange ones, but last year I went with a very neutral fall, and I got a lot of these white pumpkins, and I didn't have a lot of orange ones. And this year all I want is orange. And I was shocked at how little I had in my buckets that was orange, and definitely not going to do that. I'm definitely going to stick with some orange moving forward. I really like this look, and although neutral is equally as beautiful, I just love all of the fall colors. It's a perfect time to bring in those warm colors into your home. Moving down to the bottom of the sofa table, I'm bringing in this galvanized pitcher here from Hobby Lobby. I love this, and I'm layering it with a blanket I just picked up at the Target dollar spot and another pumpkin. And we're going to finish off the sideboard here with this really cute pie garland I picked up at Michael's last year. And I also added a couple pillows to the basket on the other side, and I think it looks so sweet. And we're also going to finish off the family room with another garland, this white pumpkin garland. This is also from Hobby Lobby, and we're going to put it here on the sideboard. It looks so cute. Moving into my entryway, I really loved the way that this looked. I liked the simplicity of it. So I'm just going to bring in this antique crock here for our vase, and I'm going to mirror what I did on our dining room table. So I'm bringing in one more of those little panicle hydrangeas, as well as some seeded eucalyptus, some of the orange eucalyptus, another one of those beautiful burnt orange flowers, and some more of those natural pumpkins on a stick. And I think this looks absolutely beautiful, very simple and not overdone, but I can always add more to it later. As I mentioned earlier, I ran out of fall stems, so I ordered some more and they should be here today. So stay tuned to see the bathroom in a future Sunday reset. But we're going to finish off the entryway with a pumpkin waffle candle from Walmart, and that is it. So let's go ahead and take a look at how everything turned out. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me as I decorated my family room and entryway. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of fall decorating for 2024. I am loving the Hallmark vibes in my home. My kids are absolutely loving it, and we have begun our fall movie tradition. We've been starting with our favorite fall movies and Halloween movies, and it's just been such a nice transition into the new school year. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure that you are subscribed. I've got 2 more fall decorating videos coming your way, and I can't wait to share those with you. Next up will be the fall coffee bar, so make sure that you come back for that, and make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Again, I hope you're taking care of yourselves and you're doing well, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, my friends.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and in today's video we are starting our fall decorating. I am so excited. We're going to be breaking up fall decorating into 4 total videos. So the first part is going to be the kitchen, the dining room, my hutch, my new hutch that I got. Part 2 will be my family room, the entryway, and the bathroom. Part 3 is going to be the coffee bar. You gotta have a whole video for the coffee bar that I think is going to include some delicious fall-inspired coffee recipes. And the last video, part 4, is going to be outside on the porch and out at our fire pit. I am so excited to decorate out there for fall this year. So hopefully you guys are excited for fall content. I sat this morning and went through all of my September schedule as well as majority of my October schedule, and I am just so excited for the things that we have planned. And I'm getting excited. My new obsession right now is focusing on our annual Halloween parties. So getting pumped about the fun games we're gonna do. We're doing like a fall festival theme this year, so really excited for that. Please disregard all of the screaming. I have 3 boys in the basement having like a full-blown war on the Oculus. So my 3 youngest are down there, so that's what you're hearing right now. But with all of that said, I hope that you're excited for the start of fall content. School is back, football is back. It is time for us to get the house feeling like fall as well. I even put on a fall sweater today. I recently picked this up at Walmart. I love it. It's kind of like a waffle knit, if you know, maybe not waffle knit, but just really, really pretty and soft in this really nice rust color. They had it in black and cream too. And fun non-scale victory. I put it on this morning and Danny said, babe, that looks way too big. You should go exchange it. And I did. I went down a size and I think it looks great and it fits much better. And that was a fun little non-scale victory. So go me. Without any more talking, because my intros have been really long lately, let's go ahead and get started. I brought up all of my fall bins. We're gonna see how much I get done today. So you might see the same outfit in more than one video, but if it doesn't all get done today, that's all right. It is the last Sunday before school starts. We officially are all back to school this week, so it may not all get done. We're gonna get as far as we possibly can. So thank you guys so much for being here, and let's get into part 1 of 2024 fall decorating. Thanks so much for being here.
We're going to get started today with my brand new Hutch cabinet here that I picked up at IKEA this year. I just picked this up last month and I am super excited to decorate this for fall. I'm going to take down all of my current decor and this is where we're going to get started. Before we get to decorating the hutch, I just wanted to take a look at everything that was on there. It's just so pretty. I love when my decor is all together like this, and I think to myself, I would rebuy all of this. I love it all. It's so pretty. And some of this stuff we're going to bring back in. I'm going to go ahead and open up our fall bins and see, but some of it we will bring back in to this beauty. I recently shared a video about how I store my decor down in the basement, and I tried to go through my bins and edit out what I didn't want anymore, but I did leave the fall bins to do after the fall season. I would know better what I didn't use. So I'm just going to go ahead and work my way through these a little bit, grab some decor, get it set out on my island, and then we'll get to decorating. I went ahead and pulled out all of the things I'm planning to use in the kitchen and the hutch. And let me just kind of walk you through what I've got here. I'm not going to do too much of this because I do have a haul, but these are containers that I plan to use to hold stems or other things like that. I did pick up these adorable pine cone ornaments. They're like glass ornaments last year, I think from Walmart during Christmas, but I plan to use those for fall decor. I've got some stems as well as a small wreath, runner. I also have these really beautiful Asian pears. These are faux Asian pears from Amazon. I got these maybe not last year, but the year before, I can't remember, for my Thanksgiving table, and I think they're gorgeous and they will look so pretty styled for the fall. And over here is my collection of little sayings as I was taking them out. I know this is not everybody's jam, but I love them, and especially ones that have something for me to hang them with, because I have peg rails both here in my kitchen and in my dining room that I can use to hang a little sign from, and I just think it looks really nice. I also have my tiered tray that I would like to decorate, and I have a couple of other items with some fun phrases on them, some wooden pumpkins, and lots of touches of orange. So this is just what I've taken out so far. I do have plenty more, but my plan is to take all of this and find a way to use some of this to decorate this. I'm starting here at the top of the hutch with this really beautiful large cloche from TJ Maxx, and I'm putting a sweet little pumpkin inside and leaving that as it is. For the next shelf, I'm bringing in this antique scale that I picked up at my favorite antique shop, Scranton Shops. And then I'm going to bring in a wooden pumpkin, and I thought I wanted to use this sign. Wasn't working, so I brought in this little pumpkin sign here, which does end up changing in just a little bit. I'm also going to start with this beautiful brown vase. This is from Target. I did get this last year or the year before, and I'm stacking some recipe books with a cloche and a faux pie. And then I replaced that vase with this little wicker pot from IKEA and a faux plant. Next up is probably my favorite piece of decor that I put out this entire video, and that is this beautiful galvanized toolbox that I picked up again from Scranton Shops. I am in love with this little toolbox here. I think it's perfect. I'm filling it with a tea towel that I put on top of another towel to give it some height. And now we're just going to stuff this to the brim with those faux pears. And I think this looks absolutely adorable. I love it so much. I love the color of the pears. I love the galvanized tin as well as the leather strap. I just think it's so beautiful, and it just brings in a lot of character to this brand new hutch that really doesn't have much character at all. I'm next up going to go ahead and put that cute little sign. I got that at Michael's a couple years ago, but I do believe I saw it there again. And I'm stacking these sweet teacups that I picked up at August and March. And I'm also going to add a fun little pumpkin. And for the bottom shelf here, we're going to work on a tiered tray. I also put that antique pitcher there, put it back. It's not going to stay there either. We are going to replace that as well, but I did add those faux hydrangea I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Those are just picks and they were about $2, which was perfect. For my tiered tray, this is actually from Michael's. I picked this up a couple years ago during the Thanksgiving season, and I am going to be using this really beautiful napkin that I picked up at Home Goods the year before last for Thanksgiving. You're going to see that napkin a lot. It actually kind of becomes my theme for my fall decor this year. I absolutely love it. I love the flannel design, and it's a great way to bring in those fall colors all throughout my home. Once I had the basic design set out on these shelves, I did go back and add in some different things to fill in the space. One was another one of those napkins. I added it here under this cloche with the little fake pie. And I also went back up to the top and replaced what I had there before with this antique scoop that I filled with a couple of little faux pumpkins. I think this is so cute, and I love how that turned out. The last thing we're going to do to finish off the hutch is to go back in with some leaves, some eucalyptus that just looks absolutely beautiful. I mixed both this orange eucalyptus as well as some purple eucalyptus. And these are actually stems that I picked up on Amazon. They're just fall eucalyptus stems. I'll link them down for you below. I did end up cutting them off of the stems that they came on. They came on one big long stem and then I cut them off. I think I ended up using 3 total throughout this video, and I think that's perfect. It's such a great way to just bring in the different color throughout the shelves, and I love how it turned out. And I also replaced that pitcher there with a glass canister and some oatmeal just to bring in a warm, cozy vibe for a baking station, and I love how that turned out. Now we're going to work here on my dining room. I'm starting off with this really beautiful table runner that I picked up at Walmart last year. I think this is stunning. Again, it reminds me so much of those napkins and really did turn into a theme for my fall decor this year. I showed you a picture a little while ago that looks just like this of a number 2 crock like this and some beautiful hydrangea. And although these are not exactly what's in the picture, I really think we nailed the centerpiece. Wait till you see how it turns out. I think it is stunning. I started off with those large panicle hydrangeas from Hobby Lobby, and then I added in some of the seeded eucalyptus from Amazon. I love this eucalyptus. It's gorgeous. There is that really beautiful fall eucalyptus that I shared as well. I love the mix of the green and the orange. It's very true to how the leaves look here as they're turning. Very rarely do you see just orange. So I like having those touches of green. And I'm just adding in all the different orange eucalyptus, giving it a nice full look. I'm also going to bring in this really beautiful deep maroon colored flower I picked up at Michael's last year, and we're going to finish it off with 2 of these really pretty pumpkins from Hobby Lobby, and I think it turned out perfect. I just adore it. We're going to move over to the side here where I have this cute little peg rail in my dining room. I started off by putting some pumpkins in my little sifter here, but I will tell you they didn't end up staying there. I didn't love them. I think I might actually want to get some real ones to put in there, so stay tuned. Again, I'm bringing in another one of those flannel napkins, and I'm just layering some fun little farmhouse items along with this little pumpkin pie sign. And we're going to bring in a couple more of those little stems here to this basket, as well as a pumpkin on a stick and another beautiful little wooden pumpkin. Next up, we're going to work on the hutch here in my kitchen. I love this little space. This is probably my most favorite place to decorate. I just think no matter what I put in here, it always looks so cozy and inviting. I'm starting off on the top with a recipe book, and I've got that beautiful faux cheese grater. That's actually from Hobby Lobby, and the bottom is not open, so you can use it as a vase, which is really nice. And I've got a miniature one of those little brown vases from Target, and I put more of those fall eucalyptus stems in there. And again, we're bringing in another one of those napkins. You're going to see a ton of these. I did use 3 of them here in the hutch, and I just, again, love those colors, and it reminds me of a cozy blanket or a warm scarf, and I can't tell you how much I love it. Maybe you've gotten that vibe with how much I've talked about it. I'm also bringing in this recipe box. This is from Antique Farmhouse. It says family recipes, and those really beautiful berry dishes, those are from a vineyard. I got those up in Newport, Rhode Island. Love, love. And I'm also going to bring in a couple of little pumpkins. I've got that wooden pumpkin there. I think that one is from Hobby Lobby, and I do believe I saw one exactly like that or very, very similar this year. Again, I'm just going to try to bring in more of those eucalyptus stems throughout the different parts of the shelves, and that's just to give it some more color. I've got this beautiful basket here from Michael's that I picked up this year, and I put a folded towel inside of it. And then again, I'm layering one of those napkins. And I think this little basket situation is my favorite in this shelf. I ended up bringing in this little galvanized watering can and a wooden pumpkin and stacked them inside with a little bit of leaves. And I think this is so pretty. Looks like I just went out and picked it outside. It's so pretty. I think this would also look beautiful with those faux pears, or some fake apples would look really nice as well. I'm going to go ahead and prop up a wooden breadboard, if you will. I think that's from TJ Maxx, and I've got another antique scale. I think antique scales are such a great way to bring in charm to your kitchen. I also have this little picture here from my favorite antique shop, Scranton's, which I do believe is also where the scale is from. And I'm adding more of those fall eucalyptus stems. And I just tried to bring these in all throughout my kitchen and dining room. And I'm also going to try to use them throughout the rest of my home. My vibe this year is Hallmark movie galore. I just think it looks, like you stepped right into a fall episode of Gilmore Girls, and I am here for it. Here on the bottom, I'm starting off with that wooden riser. That's from TJ Maxx. And then that really pretty galvanized turkey mold. That is from Michael's this year. And I'm really happy I picked that up. It's so pretty. I've got that little antique sifter from Scranton's, and then I am adding in more of those eucalyptus stems. And for this last section here, I always seem to have this over here, but it's a little plant stand with that sweet little chair, a copper little pitcher, and then I've got this sweet, I don't know what you would call this, I guess a little vase that I added another napkin and a fun pumpkin to, and I think that looks really, really beautiful. Moving down to the countertop, I'm adding in a towel here to my mixer. I think that always just brings in a nice touch of coziness, and I try to match it to the time of year. To the other corner, I'm bringing in that antique pitcher with the hydrangea, and then I also have this little brie baking dish from Home Goods that I took the lid off of, and I am putting some antique cookie cutters here on the inside. I was just trying to get them to all fit, but I just wanted them to kind of look casual and pretty, and I think they did turn out that way. I'm also adding this really pretty cutting board here from Michael's that I picked up a couple years ago. To the other side, I'm bringing in that beautiful brown vase, and here's a look at that eucalyptus stem that I kind of took apart, deconstructed so that I could make them, work a little bit better for me. And I'm adding those here. I put some paper towel inside to just give it some height. And then I'm going to finish off this little section with these beautiful copper measuring cups, and they are living on top of a plant stand that I picked up at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. I love this. If you ever see stands like this, just grab them, especially if they're on sale, because they're great little risers to have in different places in your home. I've got that cute little nightlight from Scentsy, and I'm also going to bring in this beautiful fall eucalyptus wreath that I picked up at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. Perfect little size for the pantry, and it totally matches all those other stems that we brought in, which is perfect. To the other side, I got creative and just used the top to that brie dish that I showed you on the other side and propped it up like that to give us a little bit of color over here, and then replaced my salt cellar here into this really sweet little pumpkin one that I got at Home Goods a few years ago. I think it also might have been, I think it was Home Goods, but it could have been Hobby Lobby. I'm not 100% sure. On the other side, I'm bringing in this sweet little copper pumpkin. This is from the Dollar Tree. I did pick this up last year or the year before, but they usually have ones like this, and I think they're so pretty. I'm also going to bring in this beautiful copper pitcher from Home Goods and more of that seeded eucalyptus from Amazon. This stuff is great. I have so many of these stems, and I think they're such a wonderful filler for any kind of arrangement that you have going on. You could leave it by itself, but it just is such a pretty spiller that it, as it comes out of the vase like this. Again, I'm going to use more of those fall eucalyptus stems. I have so many of these, and my camera did die, but I did also add a sweet little pumpkin to the center and had it kind of hiding inside, but it did look really, really beautiful. We're going to finish off the kitchen with a new soap. We're also going to put this sweet little strainer in my sink and add some more of those beautiful fall stems here to the basket at the end of my island. And that is going to bring us to the end of decorating my kitchen and dining room. Let's go take a little walk through and see how beautiful it all turned out. That's going to bring us to the end of my first fall decorate with me for 2024. I hope that you enjoyed it. I absolutely love how it turned out. And again, like I said, it's giving me Hallmark movie vibes, and that's exactly what I wanted. Lots of warm tones, and I just wanted it to feel over the top. My family loves that. I love that. And I think we really nailed it this year. If you enjoyed this video, I would love to have you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure you come back for more. I post 3 new videos every single week, and I would love to see you in the next one.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany, and in today's video we are decorating my front porch. I am so excited. We're going to decorate my front porch. We're also going to do a little bit of decorating out at the fire pit, and we're also going to be decorating my barrels around our garage. So I've got these really nice plastic wood looking barrels that I have on either side of the garage, and I always try to change them up for the seasons. I just recently cleaned them all out from all of the things that were left over from spring and into summer. They were so spent and ready to go. So I'm really looking forward to it. This year, I'm going for just total fall cozy vibes. I have done lots of traditional colors here in my home, and I'm looking forward to bringing those outside as well. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this. My mother-in-law grew corn in her garden, and so I begged her to let me have her corn stalks, and so she did. They're out there. So we're going to connect those to my front porch as well. I also got some straw bales to use this year, some pumpkins, both new and are both real and faux pumpkins. I tried to find some faux pumpkins this year so that I could not always have to buy new ones because they don't last all season long, and I like to start this early, so I need them to last for a little while. So I did find some that are fake from Home Goods, so I will definitely be using those as well. And I also am going to be using a mix of real and faux mums. I did purchase some fake ones. We're gonna see how they turn out. I don't know. I did also have to purchase some tricolor mums that I always see every year. They're by Better Homes and Gardens. They are at Walmart and they are super affordable, so I had to snag a couple. And I was thrilled that they had these ready-made pots that just look stunning. They have mums in them and this gorgeous coleus. Coleus is stunning. It looks like a lace trimmed plant. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I went to every nursery near me looking for just individual coleus, and I could not find it. And everybody kept reminding me, this is a spring and summer plant. And I was like, I know. It was still 78 degrees the day that I was looking for it, but I recognize that it is a spring and summer plant. However, the colors to me are just so perfect for the fall season. So they're really great in any kind of arrangement until the first frost, when unfortunately they will not survive. So keep an eye. If you have coleus, make sure that you cover it if it's going to dip down low near you. We luckily have only been in the high 40s at night, so definitely not anywhere near a freeze. So we should be okay for a little while, but this is a lot of intro. I hope you guys are here for it. I absolutely love decorating my porch for the fall. It's so fun, and I can't wait to take you guys out there. Let's go ahead and get started.
We're going to start here in the plastic barrels on either side of the garage. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I did cheat a little bit. I did purchase some ready-made pots that were absolutely gorgeous at Walmart. They're $25 a piece and worth every penny. They came with the coleus, a mum. They also had a pretty petunia in there that I did end up taking out, 2 petunias actually. And they also had a beautiful draping plant. And I also added this really pretty taller plant here that kind of looks like a corn stalk. I don't know what it's called. I'm so sorry. I should have kept the tags, but I didn't. But I was mostly excited about this gorgeous coleus. So I think this is one of the most beautiful plants. I unfortunately just don't always love it for the spring and summer. I do love a bright chartreuse green sweet potato plant, but this one here I just think screams fall. So I'm just pulling out the pieces from that ready-made planter that I liked, and I also added in a really pretty ornamental cabbage because I love ornamental cabbage. I have no idea what color these mums are because none of them were open yet, so fingers crossed they're a pretty mum. But I just think these are absolutely perfect for the fall, and we're going to finish them off with some really pretty little miniature pie pumpkins that I just think bring in that gorgeous orange color for the fall. There is something just so beautiful about that ornamental cabbage with a sweet little pumpkin tucked in, and I think these turned out perfectly. I just absolutely love them. I did trim back these spillers here a little bit. I just cut them to barely touch the ground, but I did not film that part, but I just wanted them to not get too tangled up. We're going to move over to the other side here, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing except mirrored, so that way they just, add some symmetry to the front of the house, and I love the way these turned out. Now that I have sufficiently made a big mess while planting up these planters, I'm going to go ahead and grab the blower and I'm going to clean out the garage as I do this. I try to blow out the garage once or twice a week. We do get a lot of leaves in here, but I do try to blow it out since we are constantly walking in and out of the car in here. But I'm just going to go ahead and push all of this dirt over into the trees. Now it's time for the super fun part, and that's working on my front porch. So I grabbed these two adorable little miniature straw bales from Walmart. I think they were somewhere around the $5 range, and I think they're so sweet. And they just bring in that really cute, fall pumpkin patch vibe without taking up a ton of space. I have very full plants right now, and so I just didn't want to add a ton of stuff to the porch, especially since we will be adding in some Halloween coming up. So I got these adorable little straw bales. They're so cute. And then I grabbed my large 4-gallon crock here, or pickling jar, and that's what we're going to use for this really pretty tricolor mum. I mentioned these in my intro. These are from Walmart. They're from the Better Homes and Garden line, and I think they're somewhere in the $13 range. I buy these every year and I love them. They've got a pretty pink, yellow, and orange flower to them, and I just think they're gorgeous. I also picked up these faux pumpkins and a gourd from Home Goods, and although they're a little bit on the paler side, a little more pastel, I do think they're really pretty, and I love that I can reuse them every year, indoors, outdoors. I also picked up this super cute warty pumpkin from my local grocery store when I was there that morning, and I just love that deep orange that it brings. Just loving those traditional colors this year. I had mentioned that I was going to be using some faux mums, but I think I'm going to save those for my back deck because I just really love the way this one mum looked. I also got this little miniature ornamental cabbage here that I'm placing on this sweet little bench from Hobby Lobby, as well as a little pumpkin that I painted to look like it's a terracotta pumpkin. I did that last year. I'm also going to add the corn stalks to either side of my porch. As I mentioned, these are actually corn stalks from my mother-in-law's garden. She grows corn every year, and I asked her if I could have it. And I love the way that these look. This was a pain in my neck getting these onto the banisters, but it was totally worth it because I think they're really, really adorable. I've wanted to do this every single year, and I don't know why I haven't done it sooner, but I'm really glad that I did this year. And I actually kept a third small little grouping of them to put on my mailbox as well. We're going to move over to the fire pit area now. I did grab 2 larger straw bales from Lowe's. They're not too big, but just big enough. And I think I'm going to get some bigger ones that people can sit on. But for now, these work. They're around $8. Again, I grabbed 2 more of those really beautiful tricolor mums. These are very much in bloom already, so we'll see how long they last. I'm gonna have to make sure that I keep them extra watered, and I actually ended up putting them in those pots that I bought, those pre-made planters, and they worked out really well. I'm also going to bring in 2 large jack-o'-lanterns that I painted last year, again, to look like terracotta pumpkins, and that's going to finish out this area. Before our Halloween party, I'm definitely going to add a whole bunch more, so stay tuned. I also asked Danny to help me hang some lights out here as well, so I'm really excited to bring in some more coziness to this area, but this is what we've got for now, and I think it looks really, really sweet. That's going to bring us to the end of this fall porch decorate with me, as well as my fire pit area and these beautiful planters alongside my garage door. I am loving how everything turned out, and I just know it's going to look so sweet as the leaves continue to turn. They look gorgeous with my beautiful hydrangeas, and I'm just feeling so incredibly thankful to have this beautiful space. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for more. I would love to have you come back. And until the next one, my friends, have a great day. I'll see you soon.